All right, new lighting, same table, different area. Let's go. SWFA, what do they make? They make really good quality scopes. And it all starts with this, a very cheap, inexpensive box. In fact, it is probably the cheapest box you'll ever see. I think I've seen tissue boxes that are made of higher quality than this. What do you get? You get some pieces of really thin cardboard stapled together with a little tag. Gives all the information. This is a 10X, blah, 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 blah. Made in Japan. That's basically what I care about, because you know what? At least the Japanese make really high quality stuff. Now, you're going to see that this box is as cheap as possible. And I like that. But I'll get more on that in just a sec. Let me first pull out the scope. So you get a little bit of bubble wrap. Then you get, whoops, try not to crush that. Then you get the scope in this nice little plastic bag. Got a little bit of silica gel in there to prevent any sort of moisture from getting in. And what else do you get in the box? You get an Allen key. Now this Allen key is used to remove the caps, and we'll get to that in just a sec. Keep that out. Let me talk about why I like the box and why I prefer, not really prefer seeing this, but I enjoy seeing this. There's a purpose behind this box and why it's so cheap. The reason for that is cost. This scope costs $300. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It does not come with rings and a bubble level. This is my second take on this video. In fact, technically third. I ran into issues, and I go to edit the video together, and the audio's not there. And guess what? I already started filming my other segments, so I have rings and everything on all of the scopes. So, full disclosure, when you get the scope, it will not have rings on it. Anyway, why do I like this cheap-ass box? A very simple reason. Cost. That's a $300 scope, and it's been a $300 scope ever since the insurrection of it. I believe in the early 90s. There's a full history on it. Long story short, military contracts, certain specifications. This is the 10X. This is basically the exact same scope that was devised 30 years ago now for the military. It won the contract, and it was sold for, I believe, $300 back then. And fast forward nearly 30 years, and it's still $300. Now, they can save that much money, or at least they can sell it for the same price by cutting some corners. And it's not in the quality of the scope, I assure you. It's in things like the quality of the box. So I'd rather spend $300 knowing that all of my money is going into the quality of the scope as opposed to a box. Whereas if I was to pull out another box, say from my Steiner P4XI, it is the exact opposite of the SWFA box. It is beautifully illustrated, beautiful colors. You get a whole bunch of stuff. You get stickers, you get instruction manuals, extra batteries, beautiful cut foam. Yes, it's really nice, and when you're spending $550 on a scope, it's really nice to see that it comes in an excellent box, but this still costs money. This costs a lot more money to produce than this. So kudos to SWFA for not giving me something that I really don't, quote-unquote, need. What I need is a scope that's built well, has excellent glass, turrets, tracks good, built like a tank, lifetime warranty, made in Japan, a country that actually produces really high quality stuff. That's what I care about. I don't care about no stupid box. This is just for show. You see a lot of scope boxes coming with crazy colors and all this and that, and I don't care about that. I care about a scope that is bulletproof, and these SWFA scopes are bulletproof. And not just their fixed power scopes, but even their variable power scopes as well. So what do you get for the scope? This being a fixed 10X, you get exactly that, a fixed 10X. You have a fast focus eyepiece, you have adjustable parallax, windage, and elevation adjustments. This is an this is a mil scope. So you have 5 mils rotation both in elevation and your windage. And I'll show you how to take off the caps in just a second. Hello there, kitty. You get 30mm tubes, 42mm front objective, and excellent quality glass. This is very dirty. I've been running it through some of its paces recently, so I haven't had the chance to really clean it. I've had this scope for, as near as makes no difference, about 4 years now. And it's seen duty on many different rifles over many different platforms and calibers, and it has been truly excellent for me. I highly recommend this to every single person that's looking to get into a budget sort of long range scope that doesn't want to break the budget. You can get a lot of variable scopes for about the same price, but I feel personally anyway that you're sacrificing something more than just money. You're sacrificing glass quality, turret construction, you name it, tracking capabilities. I know that these track very well, at least from my experience. Wait for my full review to know exactly how these things track, because I'm trying to devise currently a tracking pattern for this. But in my personal experience, these things have been absolutely bulletproof, solid, reliable scopes. And I'm not just speaking about a single scope, I am speaking about, well, basically the entire line. This is the 20X, put that in the back. Then I have, this is the 12X. This is another one of mine that I've owned for a number of years, but I'm going to get to that in just a sec. And then the 16X. So I'll be quite honest with you. I've owned this for about 4 years, this for about 2 or 3, and these two I just recently got from SWFA's latest Black Friday sale. So for $300, you could buy this scope all day long, all year round. Every once in a while, SWFA will throw out a sale, Labor Day sale, 4th of July sale, President's Day sale, etc., etc. But come Black Friday, they throw their biggest sale. So I believe it was $270. And for that, you get a set of their SWFA rings, which I did a review on. I really like them. You also get an SWFA branded bubble level. This time around, you got a sunshade, and for whatever reason, you got a pistol magazine loader. And free shipping for $270. Just buy them. Buy all of them. If you think you're going to need it, buy it. If you think you might not like it, buy it and then sell it and make your money back. I can't tell you how good of a deal that is. Anyway, going back to it, bulletproof reliability with the 10X. The 12X, however, has been giving me a bit of an issue lately, and the more I've been using it on my camera rig, the more I've been noticing it. And I'll get more on that in probably the full review, but there's been a bit of a focus issue with this. I'm going to contact SWFA after my video is completely all said and done, and see if they are going to be able to do something about that. The 16X and the 20X and the little I've had to really get my hands on them and run them through their paces have been phenomenal. As far as what magnification I recommend for what, that's going to be in the full review. All of them come in the exact same box. All of them come with the exact same belongings. So what you see is what you get. Also, but not, what's also included in this line but is not shown here is the 6X. I did not bother buying the 6X because I feel that the 10 to the 20X is going to cover basically everyone from a practical tactical shooter to a I don't want to bring my spotting scope to the 200-yard line when I'm shooting 22s. So that's why I did this. What is best for you in what sort of environment and shooting? That's why I bought this particular scope. Anyway, let's take off the turrets and see what they got inside. For that, it's going to require the Allen key that came in the box, unless you have another package somewhere else. There are 3 little tiny Allen set screws on the top. Loosen those up. You don't have to remove these. They are not captive, so they will fall out if you unscrew them too much. And once you remove those, you can pop off the turret. It's a very aggressive release on that because there are 2 O-rings. There's one on the outside and one on the reluctor shaft itself. And there's a little grease in there. I don't know the exact type of grease, but I'm sure if you used Vaseline in a hurry, you'd probably be fine with it. Anyway, if you look inside there, which I'm gonna get close-up pictures of this, it is beefy. It is really beefy. It is beautifully machined. There's excellent O-ring interface on that, so this way you get plenty of weather sealing both on the outside and the inside. And as far as the sound that these turrets make when you move them, you'll see in just a sec. It is crisp and clean on all of them across the board. Definitely a step up from a lot of other turrets in the same price point of scopes that I've played with over the years, including the PA's old 4 to 14 by 44, which is just about as mushy as a baked potato that's been boiling. As mushy as a potato that's been overboiled. That's what the turrets on the PA 4 to 14 were for me, at least many years ago. These turrets are almost as perfect as you can get, especially for the price point of $300. So to adjust it, you can take off the set screws. Actually, you don't even have to take this off to adjust it. You just loosen them up. You line them up on the back. You make sure you push all the way because there is that little bounce. That's from the amount of air pressure inside from the O-rings. So at least you know the O-rings are sealing. And there are the two closer ones and then the one on the back side. You can do the one on the back side just to snug it up. It's a little bit easier to help keep the cap from rotating. And then lock up the other two. Or vice versa, whatever you're more comfortable with. But very easy to adjust. There are no zero stops on this scope. However, you can buy from a guy, I honestly don't remember his name, I bought them for my 12X many years ago, little plastic shims that go under the cap, so they will bottom out. But as far as the turrets sound, listen to that. No wiggle, no creep, it's just a nice, sharp click right into position. The detent on these turrets are very sharp, very solid. And guess what? Yes, not so much on the windage going to the right, but it's still there. It still clicks right into position. You will notice these when you're adjusting them, even wearing hearing protection. I wore double hearing protection when I fired this on my 223. So don't be alarmed. Don't think that you're not going to hear it. You'll actually feel it through the stock, or at least I do when I adjust it. And it's very quick to go. 10, 2.5, 4. Very quick to adjust. I don't know if I like the fact that they have the double row here. I think it's just something that's going to distract you from the amount of rotations that you're doing originally. It's very easy to figure out, okay, it's 5 per revolution. I need to go up 10, 2 full turns, you're good. Would I like to see this as a 10 mil rotation? Yeah, that'd be awesome. But then you're also going to probably include a larger body, larger turret, and thus the price is going to go up. For $300, I think this is excellent. The fast focus eyepiece is not my favorite style. I prefer a locking eyepiece because once you get it focused for your eye, you never need to adjust it. And if I'm running Butler, for example, Butler Creek flip caps on these, at least it sort of holds it in place. But on one of these, I use just a bikini cap, and if I take it off, it can get it shifted a little bit, and that can throw your shots. As far as the parallax adjustment goes, it goes all the way down to 10 meters for any of you that do not know the one of the best quality of the scope. 10 meters all the way to infinity, and yes, it is very smooth and easy to turn. Any problems with that? No. The only thing I have noticed is I've been doing a lot of filming with these scopes in really cold temperatures, about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and the grease inside the turrets at least does lock up a little bit, but it's still perfectly fine as far as functionality goes. Fit and finish on these are excellent. The coatings that they use, I'm assuming it's anodized, is pretty durable. It's pretty tough. You will notice on my windage knob over here, it's marred up pretty good, and the reason for that is brass ejecting from, I believe this is from my Howa, either my Howa or my Ruger or my Savage. Probably all of my guns over the years have created issues where I'll go to eject the casing, and the casing will come up and just nick the bottom and mar it up pretty good. But even though it's beat up to hell and beyond in this one spot, there's a lot of brass indentation on it, and you know what? It's still in pretty good shape. It's still mostly there. The inside, however, is chewed off, but you know what? Really good quality coatings on this. They're all very even. There's no imperfections. Their quality control is very good. And that's across the board as far as 10, 12, 16, and 20. And that's basically it. The unboxing for this is not really eventful. There's not a whole lot going on with this. There's no illumination, which is hit or miss. I might as well mention the reticle on this is by far one of my favorite. It's very simple, elegant design. It is a matched reticle to turrets, so there's no worrying about confusing mil to MOA, MOA to mil. It's a mil or an MOA. So that's it. Again, there's no illumination, but that keeps the cost down. You can get a side parallax adjustment fixed power, but only with the 10x, and it's an extra $100. So would I recommend it? It depends on the style of shooting you're doing. If you're trying to go from target to target in a very rapid response sort of way, such as a tactical shootout, I would recommend it, because you could help guesstimate your distance to target a little bit with it, and it's a lot easier just to grab and turn, whereas opposed to back here, it's a little bit finicky, and you really have to move your hand far over the rifle to start to adjust it. So that's just a little bit of a nitpick. Other than that, though, for $300, you're getting an incredibly well-built rifle scope that's rated for 50 calibers. I have no doubt about that at all. Apparently, their warranty is excellent. I've never seen or heard of a bad review of SWFA's not quality control. Yeah, SWFA's warranty. So if you have any problems with it, you probably send it right back to them, and I'm sure they'll take care of it on the arm. I'm probably going to have to find out about that for my 12X, but again, I'll get to that in the finished review coming in another couple of weeks. I just have to figure out how I'm going to film one other segment, and then I should be good to go. That's going to be a completely different review from what I'm used to filming, primarily because I'm going to have to talk over most of the scenes, because it's very difficult for me to capture an exciting scene on camera doing it the way I've been doing. But I have a couple of good representations of how these scopes function, and expect to see that soon. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.